I want to send my condolences out to Tucker Carlson, the great American and patriot, the brave American citizen who stands up and tells the truth regardless of the criticism he's going to take. When you read his father's obituary, you see where Tucker got his fearlessness from and his unique personality. This was Tucker's obituary to his father, Richard Warner Carlson, died at 84 on March 24th, 2025, at home in Boca Grande, Florida. After 6 weeks of illness, he refused all painkillers to the end and left this world with dignity and clarity, holding the hands of his children with his dogs at his feet. I'm not going to read the rest of the obituary, but you really should give it a good read. It's quite interesting. He was a really interesting guy, and now we see why Tucker Carlson is the way that he is. My condolences go out to Tucker Carlson. The big Democrat talking point of the day is the app Signal. After leaving the garbage reporter, Jeffrey Goldberg, in the group message, Jeffrey Goldberg, the garbage communist reporter that created Russia hoax, said that Trump called the military losers and suckers. But this is where that story originated from. Jeffrey Goldberg, a total lowlife. So what do Democrats do? They're going to run with this story, and they're going to try to make it a big deal because they have nothing else to talk about. They can't run on anything. They can't talk about anything good they did. Trump has done more in 7 weeks of presidency than Democrats can do in 100 lifetimes. Everything that President Trump is doing has been great and successful. So what will Democrats do? They'll cling to a joke story like this. Meanwhile, Democrats are never outraged about an open border, Lincoln Riley being sexually assaulted and murdered by an illegal. They're not outraged about Eric Swalwell sleeping with a Chinese spy named Fang Fang. Nope, none of that bothers them. Democrats won't make a big deal about inflation that they caused. They won't cry and protest about Joe Biden being responsible for 12 military soldiers being murdered by his pathetic withdrawal from Afghanistan. Of course not. They will focus on a group text and the information that was shared. The action was already in progress, meaning the strike already happened when the reporter noticed it. But leave it to Democrats to cling to a lie because that's all they can do. And let's not forget the murderer and corrupt Hillary Clinton. After she sent out thousands of emails of classified information, then when the FBI wanted to interview her and investigate her, she decided to bleach the computer system. No big deal, right, Democrats? Nope, nothing to see there. Then it's being reported that Alex Wong was the one that added Jeffrey Goldberg to the group message. This Alex Wong needs to be arrested, prosecuted, and spend some time in Gitmo where he belongs. If you want to play around with classified secrets of the military, there should be heavy, severe consequences. Of course, Democrats are calling for Pete Hegseth to resign. The Democratic Party is just a complete joke. They have nothing to talk about. They have done nothing for the United States of America besides destroy every single thing they touch. Let's let Pete Hegseth tell you himself.
Full workday here as well, and looking forward to it. One question.
Can you share how your information about war plans against the Houthis in Yemen was shared with a journalist in The Atlantic? And were those details classified?
You're talking about a deceitful and highly discredited so-called journalist who's made a profession of peddling hoaxes time and time again, to include the hoaxes of Russia, or the fine people on both sides hoax, or suckers and losers hoax. So this is the guy that peddles in garbage. This is what he does. I would love to comment on the Houthi campaign because of the skill and courage of our troops. I've monitored it very closely from the beginning. And you see, we've been managing 4 years of deferred maintenance under the Trump administration. Our troops, our sailors were getting shot at as targets. Our ships couldn't sail through. And when they did shoot back, it was purely defensively or at shacks in Yemen. President Trump said, no more. we will reestablish deterrence, we will open freedom of navigation, and we will ultimately decimate the Houthis, which is exactly what we're doing as we speak from the beginning, overwhelmingly.
Why were those details shared on Signal, and how did you learn that a journalist was privy to the targets, the types of weapons used?
I've heard I was characterized. Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that. Thank you.
That's it.
Democrats, they're such sick puppies. Even the reporters. Pete Hegseth is talking about saving military soldiers' lives by the thousands, and all the reporter can do, and Democrats, is focus on a group text where nothing was even leaked. And Jeffrey Goldberg, the rat, the weasel, the coward, the spineless worm, as he hides in a corner somewhere, creating mischief like a child that needs to be spanked. Jeffrey Goldberg and Alex Wong need to spend some time in prison. And let me go back to Eric Swalwell. You had a United States congressman sleeping with a Chinese spy named Fang Fang, and nobody cares. And Democrats could care less. This is why your party is an absolute joke. That's why you will never win another presidential election for the next 10 elections. The United States of America is sick and tired of your hypocrisy. We sit back and just laugh at how vile and stupid you are. And this whole spin now where Gavin Newsom, he's a centrist, and Bernie Sanders is a centrist, and Stephen A. Smith is going to run as a Republican and he's a centrist. All Democrats pull this move to try to regain power. Do not fall for this. It's an act. All it is telling you what you want to hear so Democrats can retain power and go back to destroying the United States of America. Now Chris Cuomo, another big centrist, and now he wants to have conservatives on and talk to them. But when Democrats are in control, what do? They lock up Republicans. They lock up anybody that goes against their talking points. They harass you. They have you, Obama, how did you audited? That's their true character. That's what Democrats' true nature is. They don't even want you to speak. They don't even want you to have a different opinion than them. That's exactly why I make these videos. And all you liberal lunatics in my comment section, oh, you only have 100 subs and you only have this many views. Let me explain something to you. Other than the channel started 5 months ago, I will do these videos even if only one person watched every single day and became educated and joined the Republican Party. I don't care. Literally, if the video got one view and that one viewer got educated to what communist fascist your party truly is, it's worth my time and effort. You know what's funny too about all you liberal lunatics in my comment section? You're the same 400-pounder that stays home, smokes weed all day, that's 27 years old, never had a job in your life, and collects welfare because you think they're entitlements. Criticizing me. Entitlements. You ain't entitled to you know what unless you get up and work. It's also being reported that 4 American soldiers have died during a training exercise in Lithuania. Their bodies were found near the border with Belarus after they disappeared with a military transport vehicle earlier today. And when Trump finds out who murdered these soldiers, Trump knows what to do. He is going to hunt you down and do what real leaders do. The people responsible for this, you better have a good last few minutes of life, because I assure you, President Trump is coming for you. Remember, we are the Red Army Resistance. Resist liberalism and resist the globalists. It's a disease.